unbreakable, unstoppable, unshakable. They knock me down, I get up again. I am the champion. I was made for this. I was born to win. I am $1 million sales director Nikki McDaniel! What a year. What a faithful God we serve. And what a race. My unit is the McDaniel Marathoners. For those of you who don't know how far a marathon is 26.2 miles. It's definitely a journey, not a sprint. Just like my Mary Kay business has been for me. I was blessed to grow up in a Mary Kay home. As a newborn baby, I came home from the hospital in a pink Cadillac. They say, you become like the product of your environment. And I have to say, my environment was pretty awesome growing up. I loved growing up pink. My mom, National Sales Director Emerita, Diane Underwood, now tells me that when I was little, I used to grab her leg and say, don't leave, Mom, don't leave. But I don't remember that at all. What I remember is Mom came to everything that was important to me. I remember her picking me up from school. I remember family vacations. I remember bringing friends home from school, and Mom would be holding director meetings in the dining room, and they would be singing, I believe I can fly. I believe I can recruit them all. I think about it every night and day. I drive my pink caddy far away. I remember my friends looking at me saying, is this really what your mom does? My friends would ask, is your mom always this happy? I remember her waking me up every day saying, good morning, it's a beautiful day. It could be below 0, but every day was a beautiful day to Mom. I remember Mom paying my college tuition with a check. That, my friends, is what I remember from growing up pink. I always admired my mom, but I wanted to do my own thing. So I went to college for broadcasting for my dream career. See, I was a big thinker, and I believed that I could be the next Oprah. My senior year, I moved to Washington, D.C. to intern for NBC Sports. I was so excited and certain that this was my dream career. Well, it was far from dreamy. I watched people work really hard with little reward or recognition, but a lot of criticism. I would come home from the internship in tears, feeling like I wasn't good enough. I was used to hearing how great I was from growing up pink, so this was definitely new to me. One night, I sat down with the producer, and he asked me if I ever wanted to have children. And I said, yes, someday. And he said, well, I want you to know that I tell my children goodnight over the phone because I'm not there to tuck them into bed. Those words never left me. I knew that someday, when I did have children, that I wanted to be there for them like my mom was there for me. After that internship, I finished college and I moved to Colorado. I was working 2 part-time jobs trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. It was then that my mom encouraged me to come to seminar. But when I went to ask for time off work, my boss told me that I would not have a job when I returned. Well, my smart dad said, quit and come to seminar. I always listened to my dad, so I quit my job and I went to seminar. I went to seminar many times as a kid, but this time was different. I went with an open heart and an open mind. I came home, signed my agreement, and the rest has been history. Now, don't get me wrong. This journey hasn't been easy, and there have been many times that I lost my why. I've earned cars and lost cars, but one thing that I have never lost is my belief in this amazing company. Each year through my Mary Kay journey, God has groomed me, and I wouldn't be the leader I am today without God's grooming. Now, you saw my two beautiful children last night, and I now have a daughter who hangs on my leg like I used to do to my mom. And she says, "Don't leave, Mom, don't leave." But the difference is, I can leave guilt-free knowing that it is so worth it. I came into Mary Kay knowing that this business works if you do. I look at my children and I want to give them the champion life that my parents gave me. God prepared me for this race to 1,000,000 back in college. My freshman year, I walked onto the track and cross country team with absolutely no scholarship. I wasn't good at all, but I loved running and I loved being a part of a team. My dad took me to the national meet to watch, and even though I was coming in last almost every race, I envisioned myself standing on the podium as a national champion someday. Each year, through hard work, discipline, and a positive mindset, I improved. My senior year, my coach said he believed that I could be the first woman national champion at our university. I believed him, and I did it. Mary Kay Ash always said, if you believe it, you can achieve it. Our $1 million race started off with that same excitement and belief. Our starting line was seminar. The dream was born to be the first $1 million unit in South Dakota. God conveniently sat us behind a $1 million unit, so all seminar we stared at those $1 million seat covers. The race was on. We came home, we laced up our pink running shoes, and we started putting in the miles. Our training included daily booking calls, holding skincare parties, and sharing the opportunity. Every day, we continued to train. If you want to go the distance, you have to be willing to put in the work. The marathon has taught me discipline. We laced up our shoes on days we felt like it and days we didn't. I remember my mom staying home from a trip to New York City because she hadn't reached her goal yet. My dad, my sister Dusty, and I went without her. That taught me a lot about discipline. Well, last year, they announced that all the directors who did $500,000 would get to go to New York. So I took my mom, and it hit me. God worked this out full circle. I gave my mom the trip she gave up because of my discipline. God is so good. The marathon taught me that tough conditions just make you stronger. You couldn't just train on a treadmill. Champions must get out into the elements, the hills, the rain, and the wind. Just like in Mary Kay, you cannot do this business on Facebook. You must get out of the house, get face to face with people. This business is about connecting with others. You can't get into someone else's heart through Facebook Live. I've spent countless hours in coffee shops with my prospects and new recruits. I have not built my team by sending them to a video to hear somebody else's story, but by my customers hearing my story, my passion, and my excitement. I grew up watching my mom make phone calls, and on June 29th, when I called my mom for advice, she said, "Nikki, do what you do best. Pick up the phone and start calling your unit one by one." And that is what I did. People always say nobody answers their phone anymore. Well, I'm here to to tell you, oh yes, they do. Be the person who, when they see your number, they pick up the phone. The marathon has taught me how to push through discomfort. It's tough, it's challenging, it's painful, and it's regularly uncomfortable. This was especially important when my unit officially hit mile 20, the hardest part of the race. Our legs were cramping up. The finish line still felt so far away. Our bodies ached. We officially hit the hard miles. This is where we decide, quit or keep running. This is where you place all your trust in your coach, God. Are you prepared for the obstacles? You might have 10 consecutive cancellations. You might tell yourself, this isn't for me. Obstacles are unavoidable. On June 29th, I got in my car to head to a party, and I realized that everything in my car was stolen. Everything I take to parties, an iPad, and countless other things. I drove to a consultant's house, borrowed her demo bag, made it to the party, and had an absolute blast. I stayed positive, and I kept running towards my goal. Not today, Satan. When friends said, Nikki, I feel bad for you, I said, girl, don't feel bad for me. Feel bad for the enemy. He knows I'm about to do big things for God, and he's trying to steal my joy. Nothing, I mean nothing, is going to stop me. I'm so grateful because of my marathon training mindset. I was prepared for those hard miles. The marathon has taught me that training your mind is equally as important as training your muscles. A marathon is 98% mental, just like your Mary Kay business. Success is so much what you think. Don't ask others what they did. Ask them, what thoughts were you thinking? Be careful of negative thoughts. Remember, negative thoughts like I'm not pretty enough is like running with a 5-pound weight on your back. No one wants to book with me. Another 5-pound weight. I'm not like my sales director. Another 5-pound weight. The weights get heavy fast. Learn to master positive affirmations. Stop negative thoughts by saying, get out of here, baby, and replace it with a positive thought. Make sure your thoughts are in alignment with your goal. I definitely don't have it all together. I've warm-chatted people unaware that my shirt was inside out. Last week, I worked out accidentally wearing one of my husband's shoes. Even you could be a $1 million sales director. You don't have to have it all together, but you need your champion mindset. Now, the finish line was in sight. The crowd was cheering. We started our sprint. We ran as fast as our legs could go. We kept running, and we sprinted past the tape. We did it! We fell to the ground in exhaustion. We had given it everything we had. Our discipline, determination, and working through those hard miles paid off. Thank you, McDaniel Marathoners, for never giving up. Now it's your turn for your marathon. Are you ready for this 26.2-mile race? Let me hear you say yes! Are you ready for the hard miles? Are you ready for the sweet, sweet victory? Well, then let's get our racing shoes on, because you are a champion. You were made for this, and you were born to win. God bless.
Please give a standing ovation for your #1 sales director,